Welcome into the Oklahoma's video studio. Dave Morris alongside my friends John Hawk and Abby Wolf. Ladies and gentlemen, she has returned.
Back.
Abby, great to see you again.
Good to see you too.
John, it's great to meet you.
Very good to meet you.
You're with City Rep.
That's right, Oklahoma City Repertory Theater. It's a long title.
But not the first time you've said that long title.
City Rep. Easier to say, condensed.
And City Rep has a one-man Star Wars show coming up later in June, correct?
June 14th through the 18th.
It was on the tip of my tongue.
The Civic Center.
At the Civic Center Music Hall. Bang, there is the very nice poster. But let's lead off with Abby. Remember Abby from, you've worked with various charities around Oklahoma City.
That's
and,
right.
And we had you on set many times over the past couple of years with your work with the Central Oklahoma Humane Society.
Mostly with puppies and kittens. I'm sorry I didn't bring any
Puppies and
today.
kittens, that's right.
Me.
I brought John.
Well, we have John. He purrs very nicely.
Well, I mean,
You have moved on now. You're with Cory's Audio and Visual, and tell us about Cory's.
Cory's is a great place for people who have communication barriers. So we focus in audio and visual, meaning if you need to communicate it, there's a way to get your message across even stronger with installations, at events, whatever you may need to help communicate, that's what we do.
And the Oklahoman will be working with Cory's, as it turns out, on an upcoming event next weekend, or next Thursday next week at the Prep Sports Awards over the Cox Convention Center. Great to work with you again.
Yes.
And you messaged me and said, hey, Cory's has a deal of a charity of the month. I'm paraphrasing here. Tell us about
That's right.
it.
We're doing a likes campaign, which basically means that we're going to give back to the causes that we really care about. So for every like that we get on our Facebook page, starting with City Rep, we're going to give them $1 for their great mission of bringing the theater to Oklahoma and spreading joy, basically. So we are happy to kick this off. We've already kicked it off, and we have quite a few people gathering at the Facebook page. So if you'd like to do that, it's facebook.org/Cory without the S, AV.
Didn't even have to ask if you had a website for that.
Yes.
John Hawk is business manager with City Rep, and tell us about City Rep.
so we are one of two equity professional theater companies, Lyric being our flagship theater company here in Oklahoma City. We're the regional presence. We're a second tier kind of theater that brings in really interesting titles. Not as big, but super fun, like One Man Star Wars. It's really great. It's a great family experience. We have Jedis running around the lobby before the show.
We're looking at a clip right here.
Oh, there's Charlie.
That's Charlie Ross.
Doing his one-man bit. And as you can tell, there's not a lot of stage stuff that's happening. There's no Jedi lightsaber props or anything. It's just Charlie for 90 minutes doing what I did as a kid, and that is repeating the whole Star Wars franchise, the original movies, not the prequels.
Gotcha, sure.
Just saying, for those nerds out there, you're covered. It's going to be okay. It's the first three movies, and Charlie does all the characters, and after the first 10 minutes, you're like, oh, okay, I get what's happening. It's just a dude reliving all the great highlight moments of every movie, but after a while, your brain fills in the gaps of where he's at, what he's doing. It's so much fun.
It's rated G. It's about 60 minutes, right?
It's for everybody from 6 years old to Yoda. So,
Okay.
so as all the ages in between. So.
Charlie could not be here because he's where? We think?
I think he's in Asia now because of the new Star Wars franchise.
And I bring that up because of the popularity of what he's doing.
Oh, absolutely. Well, as the new movies came out, Charlie's been exclusively licensed to Disney to be able to do
How
this
do
one-man
you
show.
convince the mouse that, hey, I want to use your content and take it on tour?
Well, Charlie does a really great bit at the end of every show, and he tells it way better than I do. But the basic gist of the story is he came up with a comedy routine of kind of a condensed version of this show, where he was in Canada and he would go to these stand-up open mic nights, and he would do this show, and the crowds loved it, to the point that he had a standing engagement at a particular club for a long time, and it became this huge sensation. Well, one day Charlie gets an email from George Lucasfilm saying, "We know about you." And Charlie, the way to hear him say it, he the fear of God comes over you.
Of course, when Yoda says, know about you, we do.
Yeah, exactly. The force is strong with them for sure. Well, they flew him out there to do an audition to make sure that it was...
God, no pressure there.
Right, for George Lucas standing right there in front of him. And he did the show, and they loved it. And they right there on the spot said, "We're not going to sue you. But you have to give us, a little bit of love, because that's our brand. That's our characters that we created." So Charlie's been doing that ever since, basically.
So let's back up. Again, the one-man Star Wars trilogy will be at the Civic Center Music Hall June 14th through the 18th. That's a Wednesday through Sunday. How did City Rep and you guys hear about them and say, hey, we want to bring them in?
Honestly, being a part of the regional theater circuit, we're able to talk to other theater houses in different regions and say, hey, what works for you guys? What are your audience favorites? What's something that we could bring in that would fit the size of the Freedy Little Theater in the Civic Center?
Which holds about?
250 seats.
Okay.
It's a proscenium style theater. It's got a lot of love in it. It's an older theater.
Great acoustics, though.
Oh, for sure. And it goes in that old Art Deco style, so you really do feel like you're going to a theatrical experience every time you go to see one of our shows. Well, they highly recommended Charlie, saying that everybody loved seeing Charlie do his bit. The kids loved it. We added a component specifically for the show. We contacted Jedi OKC, which is a...
Sure, the local...
Yeah, the
Star Wars fan club.
That show up and do really wonderful things for the community free of charge, where they show up as Jedis and stormtroopers, and we even have a little R2-D2 that goes with them. And they were like, heck yeah, we want to go and support your show, and we're going to come out before each show so people can take pictures. If you want to dress up as your favorite Star Wars character, bring it on. We'll have a Jedi lightsaber duel in the lobby. It's hilarious. And we have like an R2-D2 that will run around and
Well,
play
you were
stuff.
telling me that you have the R2-D2 that will be out in the lobby, but you also had some fun with R2-D2
there it is.
There
ahead
he
of time.
is. He's running around Oklahoma City already. And yeah, we did this one-day shoot where we ran around Oklahoma City with R2-D2, and it was so much fun with Jedis and all sorts of fun stuff. So there he is. He's lost.
That is hilarious. You took him by Empire Slice House.
Oh,
Of course.
Right, and if you listen to the audio, he does his freak out "Wah!" before he notices the Empire. But yeah, we had a really fun day. I mean, my passion craft is theater. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. Oh my gosh, they both came together into a show, so I'm happy. It's Christmas for all nerds.
Again, it's June 14th through the 18th at the Civic Center Music Hall. One-man Star Wars trilogy at the Freedy Music Theater. Am I saying that correctly?
The Freedy Theater in the Civic Center Music Hall.
Perfect. More information at cityrep.com. What other shows might we expect this year?
Well, so this is a show that falls in between our 15th season and our 16th season. Our 16th season, we have some pretty good stuff coming up. Our first show is with Patsy. Is a show called Patsy Cline. It's a one-woman show with Julie Johnson. She's an old Broadway vet, and she's friends of our theater. She came and did prior rendering at the beginning of this last season, and she's wonderful. She's an amazing talent. She comes with a band, and it's a review of Patsy Cline songs, and it's really wonderful. But our big title this year that we're bringing in, last year we brought in Audra McDonald, which was a fantastic evening. This year we're bringing in the Hal Holbrook, the legend of theater. He's been doing a one-man show, Mark Twain Tonight, for almost 80 years. I think he's been doing it forever. If I was in college classes and he was on my theater history book covers.
Wow!
And so we got a chance to bring him in. Oh my gosh, yeah! And it's a rare thing, especially in Oklahoma City, to see a talent of his type come in to do this particular show. He won so many Tony Awards for it back in the day. He's coming for us for this one night only in October.
Very good. You can look for that and more information again on their website at cityrep.com. Their phone number, 848-3761. Your favorite Star Wars character is?
Oh, jeez. R2-D2, because I kind of look like him a little bit, So I mean, but also he's running around.
Who doesn't like R2-D2, right?
He's
keeps his cool. Puts
he's
up
got
with
his attitude though. That's like, I ain't gonna do that. I'm R2-D2.
Makes things happen.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. He opens the doors.
That's right.
Makes the trash compactor stop.
Abby, favorite Star Wars character? Do you have a favorite Star Wars character?
I'm going to go with Chewbacca because it's most like a puppy or a dog. That's what I'm going with.
He's got the fur.
That's right.
Now back to Cory's audio and the Facebook Like campaign. How did you guys pick City Rep?
Well, we we have audiovisual is our specialty, and that goes right along with theater. And so it just felt right to pick a theater company for our first charity.
And Cory's has been a sponsor for us in the past.
That's
where
right,
They came
yeah.
in and they helped us fill out some technical requirements for some shows. So we've been working with Cory's for a long
Absolutely. In fact, John used to work for us.
time. Well, wow.
Just dropping names now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, but no, I mean, I've known the culture at Cory's since college. A lot of the folks that have been working there for years, I've just grown up with them, and that's kind of an Oklahoma thing.
That's right.
You live in the community, you work in the community, you grow up with the community, and
This is
so
true.
Yeah.
as Cory's has grown, so have we.
That's right. We've been around since the 50s right here in Oklahoma City. So we have a lot of long-lasting, really great relationships in the community, and we can't wait to do more.
What are some of the things that Cory's does that maybe surprised you as you hopped aboard this year? Granted, we mentioned that you're in the theater world. You're working with us on an event over at the Cox Convention Center. But what are some things that perhaps I wouldn't know that you guys do?
There are two things that really surprised me when I joined Cory's Audiovisual. The first thing is how much we do actually give to the community. And working with different organizations at their events, there's so many galas around town, and there's so many great charity events, and we often are sponsors of a majority of them, to the tune of what we think is about over $100,000 a year. That is because we have a huge heart. We're here in Oklahoma City. We've been here since the 50s, so it's important to us to keep up our community and make sure that we have a safe, healthy, great place to live. But then the second thing was the sheer number of events that we are doing, both big and small, is incredible. We just wrapped up graduation season. I'd never been through a graduation season before.
I have.
It was 22 different schools with almost 10,000 graduates. So we have been hitting the ground running lately, and the graduations have finally slowed, and we are now into more events.
So
like
you
guys.
made it through prom season, then there was graduation, and now it's the summer, back to the typical events.
That's right. Well, and I don't think the Oklahomans event's going to be very typical with Peyton Manning
This is true.
joining us.
Mr. Peyton Manning himself coming
That's
in.
right. That's right.
Barry Trammell will have a one-on-one with the former Indianapolis and Denver great at that event. Again, that's coming up next Thursday at the Cox Convention Center. Remind me of the Facebook link.
Facebook link for us is facebook.com/Cory without the S-A-V.
As John says, go online
Like
and
them.
like them. John,
Like them.
great to meet you.
Great to meet you.
Best of luck with everything in the one-man Star Wars trilogy.
Thank you.
Abby, great to see you as always.
Great to see you too.
Guys, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.